Here we go, kicking off the 13th season of Classic Doctor Who with Terror of the Zygons. Now, many fans, such as myself, were first introduced to these guys in the 50th anniversary special Day of the Doctor, and then again opposite Capaldi. But I always knew they had a one-off appearance in the classic era opposite Tom Baker, which I'd never seen until now. And I gotta say, as cool as they were in the 50th, my first reaction to seeing them here was more along the lines of, damn! Look at this yee lobster claw wielding suction cup having STD spreading every who down in Whoville looking ass mother fudger. You look like something they would serve up at the Krusty Krab. Get your crusty, crustacean, goofy ass looking self out of here and back into the bowels of Deviant where you belong.
Bruh, look at this dude. Look at the top of his head.
Pardon my over-the-top reaction in the introduction, but wow, this was not what I expected from the Zygons' first ever appearance. Then again, I didn't really know what to expect if I'm being honest, but it certainly wasn't this. Terror of the Zygons kept me on my toes, alright? A cosy four-parter from 1975, set in Scotland. Gee, I wonder if we'll get obvious cultural stereotypes such as kilts and bagpipes. Yep.
More especially about the loss of life.
Also, turns out the Brigadier is part Scottish.
Oh, welcome back, Doctor.
I want to know one thing, Brigadier.
What's that? That, Doctor, is a kilt.
Suits you very well.
Oh, do you think so?
Yes.
You're one to talk, Doctor, wearing that Scottish hat and scarf for one whole scene before disappearing completely. For those curious, the DVD special features offer a feature to let you watch episode 1 director's cut, which I thought was pretty cool. I wish it was a bit easy to figure out the exact details, like it's not printed on the back of the DVD, and even just like some basic Google searching doesn't tell you what it is. But after some extensive Google searching, I figured that it was actually just a short scene at the very start of the episode where the main TARDIS trio lands, trying to figure out where they were, and why the Brigadier had called them, which was following up on the ending of Revenge of the Cyberman. It's a cool inclusion, even if the spotty colorization is a bit noticeable on the characters' faces, but I'm not one to complain about these things. I love this novelty, and like I said, after Googling for a while, I found like a page somewhere on the internet that seemed to be written by the person in charge of like remastering and recoloring that one short scene, which I think is pretty cool. If I can find it again, I'll link it down below. The rest of the story sees the Doctor, Sarah, Harry, the Brigadier, Sergeant Benton, and the returning expendable unit soldiers try and track down the sinister Zygons, figure out their dastardly plot, and put a stop to it. I gotta say, it's a pretty good setup if you don't already know what the Zygons' whole shtick is. Their key ability to shapeshift comes as a pretty nifty surprise, but if you did already know about their shapeshifting ability, like I did, then it's not all ruined for you, because you get the foreknowledge to be able to like watch along and try and figure out who's secretly a Zygon in disguise. It is worth mentioning that their powers are limited by the fact that they need like a living human host to be like plugged into their machine back on their ship or something, which I'm pretty sure they... Does that mean that they had a horse plugged in the 50th anniversary?
It was the horse.
Anyway, they can't just take one look at you and then take over your form. No, they gotta like keep you alive sort of thing, which is funny, because Secret Invasion did that. That just came out like a month or so ago on Disney+. You know, the Marvel show that everybody totally watched. Yeah, they kind of copied the Zygons' whole shtick. Keep them alive to change into them. But why do they have to keep them alive? Anyway, this is a classic Doctor Who review, not a Disney Marvel catastrophe. And wow, the directing, pacing, music, acting, and atmosphere are all perfect in this first episode. There are some really neat camera shots, and the score accompanying them really stands out. Not all of those positive elements I just mentioned carry on throughout the entire runtime, but they are there initially. But of course, you gotta take the good with the bad. For instance, this just feels wrong. It's like a weird pop-up has taken me to some dodgy website. Seriously, throughout the whole runtime, anytime they cut back to the Zygons interacting with their instruments on their spacecraft, it was like I was watching someone's weird fetish play out. Oh, that explains the R-rated spin-off. Yeah. I already know of this thing's existence, but there ain't no way I'm gonna be watching it. If anything, it just goes to show how well the 2013 team did at making them less creepy in Day of the Doctor, before making them weird again in 2015. Speaking of spin-offs, for anyone out there wondering if I'm going to be covering any more of them soon, the answer is yes. While I'm certainly not interested in diving into Zygon when being you just isn't enough, at least not anytime soon, I will, however, be covering Wartime, the 1988 unofficial spin-off featuring Sergeant Benton. The reason I've waited till now is the same reason I waited to review Downtime until after I'd seen The Abominable Snowman and The Web of Fear, and that's because I wanted to wait till after his last appearance. And yes, jumping forward a bit, this is Sergeant Benton's final canonical appearance in Doctor Who. What a legend. I always liked Benton, more so than characters like Yates. And yes, while we're on the topic, I'm pretty sure this is the last time we're going to be seeing the Brigadier and Unit until all the way in Sylvester McCoy's era. Not including the 5 Doctors, that is a heck of a long time to go without something that's become a staple of the series over the last 6 seasons. I mean, heck, when you think about it, that's half the show's total runtime at this point. Oops, sorry, hang on, forget that. I'm getting a telepathic message from my future self. Apparently Unit features in an upcoming story in this very same season, and the Brigadier features alongside the 5th Doctor in more than just the 5 Doctors, so, yeah, I got that really wrong. Still, it is Benton's farewell, so Wartime review coming to you soon. Coming to Hello, it's me from the future, even further in the future than the future me that sent back the telepathic message about Unit and the Brigadier being wrong. I was wrong about Benton too. I just finished watching the Android Invasion, and he's in it. Not even as a cameo, he's just in it. That's his last serial. I got so much wrong, and I can't even blame Wikipedia, because the information was right there in front of me, and I just got it wrong. I'm so sorry, please forgive me. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wasn't this a review of Terror of the Zygons? And you'd be absolutely correct. However, even thinking about them now is making me queasy, so let's quickly wrap this up, shall we? The good guys put a stop to the bad guys' plan of using the Loch Ness Monster, yes really, to take over the world. Yeah, it's another one of those plans. I'll admit I was kind of disappointed that there wasn't much to the Zygons aside from their iconic design. But they really were just your villain of the week. I don't know, I kind of hoped that they would be similar to how the Ice Warriors have been portrayed in more recent serials, where they're a bit more diplomatic and like they've got like an actual kind of, I don't know, a scheme going on that's more than just, take over the world just cause. And it's not even they're like the fish people that are like, yes, we've been on this earth before you, so we want to take over. It's like, no, they're just in Loch Ness, and they've waited till now to take over the world. Why? Because we need an episode to start season 13. Oh gosh, I'm tired. That probably explains why they were never brought back, because there wasn't really much dimension to them. So I guess I should be cutting the 2015 team some slack for adding some nuance to them with the Capaldi era. No? Did they? I can't really remember. I just remember not really liking it at all. But their plan in Day of the Doctor was alright. Also, yes, the Loch Ness Monster is featured in this serial, but it's actually an alien species known as a Scaracen. Think the Drashigs, but even bigger and with fins. I would have one as a pet. Actually, I'd have a Drashig as a pet. I miss having pet rats, and, what's the difference between a rat and a giant alien monster that wants to eat you? I mean, they're just small alien monsters that try to eat you. Look, he's literally thinking about biting my toes. Oh, this motherfucker, he does bite. Oh my god, no! Honestly, when it's all said and done, I can kind of see this one being remembered as one of the more iconic serials of the classic era. Not so much for the formulaic plot, but because of all those elements I mentioned earlier in the review. I don't blame you if you forgot, I'm rambling a lot. It really does feel like a step up from the quality that we're used to, and yet there's always some silliness and the odd slip up here and there that we're used to by now. In this serial's case, the silliness comes in the form of the 4th Doctor's new inexplicable power. New ability unlocked. the ability to hypnotize a human into no longer breathing. As in, they don't need oxygen anymore. What? And then also there's this clip. Get a load of this. I can't believe this. What is this? Wait for it. What the fuck is that? What is that? What do you mean? I'm so confused. And the only major slip-up I caught on my first time viewing this was a rare moment of really bad writing, where an idiot Zygon somehow lost or dropped their crucial monster summoning beacon right near the unit base of operations. Sorry, hold on. So, you Zygons, you went through all the effort in planning to gas this town. You could have killed them, but you were nice enough to use gas that just knocked them unconscious so that they wouldn't see you, and they wouldn't see the Loch Ness Monster. But in doing so, you yourself walked through town, just so happened to go through the building that unit was using as their base of operations, and you just dropped this critical component, the most important component to your entire plan. This thing that summons the monster, you take it with you and you just drop it right next to some unconscious unit soldiers? You stupid Zygons. You're obviously not meant to nitpick it like I am, or even focus on it for more than a second, because there's just a scene where they're spying on the humans, and they're like, oh no, that's our monster summoning beacon, like, you just dropped it off screen, and we're just supposed to go with it? I mean, yeah, I guess so, because that's the only explanation I can think of, aside from bad writing. But hey, nothing's perfect, and we take the positives with the negatives, right? And the positives far outweigh the negatives. I don't know, I just kind of wanted to have a laugh at the stupid Zygons. And the ending is something special as well. Damn, Doctor! Straight savage, locking those suckers in their own spaceship and leaving them to blow the frick up. Unlike Season 12, it doesn't look like Season 13's going the route of having the one continuous continuity, where one serial leads directly into the other. Instead, the Doctor and Sarah wave goodbye to the Brigadier and Harry before departing in the TARDIS. I forgot about Harry! Again! You know what? For a companion I didn't even know existed until he showed up, I like him. I know he was only there initially because they didn't know how old the actor who played the new Doctor would be, so he was brought on board to handle all the more intense, heavy stunt work. But, you know, Tom Baker is more than capable of doing that stuff himself. He even does a little marathon, running away from the monster in episode 2. Look at him go. Aside from his infuriating tendency to refer to Sarah as old girl or old thing, he seemed like a nice enough guy. Just another friendly face to have around the TARDIS. So long, Harry. You were an alright bloke in the end. Have fun one-punch KOing an Ice Warrior in the phone game. Yeah, that happens. And also, big shout out to actor Ian Marter for portraying this character and bringing him to life. Thank you very much for watching. Next week's review is Planet of Evil, which you can watch over there. Over there. Or, alternatively, you can watch my new spin-off review of Wartime, which is up there. It's probably covering half my face. Hello. Thanks for watching.